Hello there, everybody in the virtual world. Welcome to the campfire. There's one just out of shot. I'm going to sing you some of my own songs, and this one is called A Thousand Roads. Oh, my name's Adam Beattie, by the way, just in case you don't already know. I'm from the northeast of Scotland, and so quite a few of the songs that I write sound a little bit Scottish. This is one of those, A Thousand Roads. No matter how sweet the love that flows, nature hangs her head because she knows even the gentlest breeze with time corrodes. This love's gone down 1,000 roads. Alone we both thought we could stay till love knocked on our door one day, held out its hand and we both followed. This love's gone down 1,000 roads. Well, we hopped on board and she let us blind. All our past lovers swung on behind. When would we buckle under the load? This love's gone down 1,000 roads. No matter how sweet the love that flows, nature hangs her head because she knows even the gentlest breeze with time corrodes. This love's gone down 1,000 roads. We could fill the train with all our dreams, but these old wheels are out of steam. Up until now they have never slowed. This love's gone down 1,000 roads. In a far off mirror at the end of a trail, two dreamless beggars growing frail, we both returned the hearts we had borrowed. This love's gone down 1,000 roads. No matter how sweet the love that flows, nature hangs her head because she knows even the gentlest breeze with time corrodes. This love's gone down 1,000 roads. Thank you so much, everybody, to our virtual audience and to our real life audience. This next song is called All I Know, and it's inspired by a Chinese proverb. There are those who know, there are those who don't know. There are those who know that they know. There are those who know that they don't know. There are those who don't know that they know. And there are those who don't know that they don't know. Donald Rumsfeld, you're right. He did use that in a speech, which put me off the proverb a little bit, but it's a good one nonetheless, even if it's used by terrible politicians. So here we go. All I know. For all I see, a hand misplaced, a tear will fall. For all I see, a man disgraced will not stand tall. The baby cries, the mother learns, the wind will blow, the tree will bend. For all I see, the sun it shines, the world turns. For all I have, a gift is blank, without a smile. For all I have, I'll miss the train and walk the mile. The more mistakes, the more one learns, the more that's lost, the more one earns. For all I have, things break and money burns. For all I feel, I walk the ground, an insect dies. For all I feel, I wave the flag, and the bomber flies. And when it cools, the pressure drops. When it gets hot, it will pop. For all I feel, bones break and hearts stop. For all I know, the top is the bottom is the top. Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, here we are in a basement in King's Cross in London. And I wonder where you all are, anybody that's watching in the virtual festival. Oops, I'm going to use my tuner. So yes, we thought of a little competition. Because I have a new album which is called Somewhere Around the Bend. Yeah. And the competition is very easy. This is the album, and it's a vinyl, and we took the cellophane wrapper off so it didn't reflect the camera, the lights into the cameras too much. So therefore, can't sell this anymore in the normal outlets. And so therefore, the first person from the virtual festival just has to send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is Mr. Adam Beattie. And if you send me that message, you can claim this vinyl. So all you have to put in the message is, what should we say? Basement in King's Cross. If you write that in the Instagram message, I will know that you are the winner. So I'll play more songs of that later, but now I'm going to play something from a previous album, and it's called The Man Who Loves Too Much. In fact, I'm going to get our audience here, our physical audience, to sing along, and you can sing along in your virtual space as well. So, all I need you to do is hum, okay? So we're gonna hum, we're gonna go nice. Then after that you go, the man who loves too much will lose every time. Can't hear the cameraman singing. The man who loves too much will lose every time. Keep that going. So if you're a woman in the audience and you've been really let down by a man or messed around, you can hum this to them. And if you're a man in the audience, you can just hum this to yourself. The man who loves too much will lose every time. And if you don't fall into either of those categories, I'm sorry about that, but I haven't worked it all out yet myself. The man who loves too much will lose every time. Beautiful. The horse wears blinders so he can't see to the side. A woman is veiled to make a worthy bride. You can't catch two fish on the same line. The man who loves too much will lose every time. He who shoots straight but always looks away. He without faith who prays every day. It bears no fruit, it's cut from the vine. The man who loves too much will lose every time. You can't win a woman by showing your tears. The louder you shout, the less people hear. The heavier the harder the climb. The man who loves too much will lose every time. The man who loves too much will lose every time. Every cell will perish and all will be replaced. Memory will be passed on to a brand new phase. She caught you looking for the past in an empty glass of wine. The man who loves too much will lose every time. He says he doesn't love you, but he always asks for more. He invites you to a bed he's made up by the door. He'll read you the rules, but he won't let you sign. The man who loves too much will lose every time. The light will blind you if you stare too long. If you feel too strong. Adam bit the apple and he died in his prime. The man who loves too much will lose every time. Louder, guys, and then they'll hear you at the other side. Sorry, I didn't catch your names. Matthew. Christine. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. I know everybody else in the room. Thank you all for coming too. So what next? Maybe I will show you my brand new guitar. Look at this beauty. These lights are putting these guitars out of tune. So yeah, this is a guitar made in Japan, but a company founded in Ireland. So it's Irish-Japanese, this guitar. So I grew up in a very small town called Inverurie, which is in the northeast of Scotland. And it's a very remote town. And I was very keen to leave. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the town, but I think a lot of people come of age and want to leave their hometowns. Did that happen to you? Left your hometown? Left your hometown? Yeah? So, but this is a song written about someone who tried their best to leave. And that's the other thing you get in towns like mine. Is some people always intend to leave, and then they just talk about it, and then they don't end up leaving. So, this is a song called Man Running, or A Man Running, Under a Cloud, Dark with Rain. Fistful of rum and pockets full of smoke, he shot with a bang into the street. This one square town has no laid bars. He should have left while he was still on his feet. But now every bank feature dress holds only the fame of a man running under a cloud dark with rain. A cloud dark with rain. A bruised and broken home has left him all alone, and now he reads his fortune in the stars. But from these streets the sky is clear, the moon is like a tear. Everything that you drink is what you are. Making drinks to make some money, making money to get drinks made. And every night is just this, even years begin to fade. For a man running under a cloud dark with rain. A cloud dark with rain. A man running under a cloud dark with rain. A cloud dark with rain. Thank you so much. This is like the old days of the Harrison basement. So also what we've got to do this evening is we've got to name this new guitar of mine. Any suggestions? Top of your head? Anybody out there? Send me an Instagram message. Loud and Wainwright. That's very clever. Mr. Camera Operator number 8. Because this guitar is actually, it's a Loudon, but spelled Lowden. Stringy McString face, yeah. Nice little Scottish reference there.
Harris grandson.
Harris?
Grandson.
Harris grandson. Where does that come from?
Harris.
Okay. Grandson. It's quite a grand guitar, isn't it? So, okay, more about the hometown. So, as I said, I was very keen to leave my hometown. So keen that I wrote many songs about leaving. But this is actually a later song that I wrote, which is actually about the moment when you realize what you like about your hometown. And it's a song about a hill called Benahee, and Benahee is sort of towers over the town that I grew up in. It doesn't really tower, it's a small hill, but the locals like to call it a mountain. But technically it's well under the height that a hill needs to be a mountain. So
Relative value. Relative value.
Exactly. I mean, if you started at sea level, then maybe it'd be a mountain. And so when I eventually left my town and I'd sort of go traveling and go to exotic, far-off places, I'd come back and tell all these stories of places that I'd found and people that I'd met to my family. And they wouldn't really listen to my stories in much detail. And then I'd catch them staring out the window at Benihee, our local hill. And then they'd look back to me and say, "But there's no view like Benihee, Adam." I'd be like, "Right." Anyway, my sister had a couple of kids and moved back up there. She managed to escape for a few years as well. And then I started going back to visit more, and I realized what they meant. They meant there's no place like home. And wherever that is, it means something to us, doesn't it? No matter how big your hills are. So this is called There's No View Like Benihee. I grew up on the East Coast, where it falls flat to the sea. From the beaches of Banff to the Firth of Dundee, I never saw the delights up with the Dee and the Spey, but I stayed where they sleep from the dawn down to the Tay. Oh, how I long to leave over the hills, across the seas, to be a man of the world and find a true love for me. And so when I left my home, I'd just laugh at their plea that there is no view like Benihee. And I'd come home once a year when bright light filled the trees on a carpet of ice and a sharp winter breeze, and the bars all spilled out and the faces looked old, far more than their years, and hit hard by the cold. Oh, how I long to leave back to the life I'd weaved. I feared I might be forgot, so I rushed back to sea. And as the train pulled away, I'd look back in the grey. I couldn't agree, there is no view like Benihee. So the years came like waves on the mortal tides, and as an old me dies, a young one cries. Bales roll in the fields and leaves peeled from the trees, and the seats were all dealt out by the breeze. Oh, how I long to stay. I wished for just one more day to be somebody's very first or very last to see. And now it pains me to part with a weight in my heart. I could agree there is no view like Benihee. Now it pains me to part, the weight in my heart. I can agree there is no view like Benihee. Yeah. Well, I'm going to fast forward into the future. We are in the future, aren't we? We're all part of a virtual festival. That is futuristic. Yeah, so I eventually arrived in London after my adventures. And people often ask why I came to London, and I think it's because I had this notion of like the city that never sleeps, you know, where there's just always something to discover, and a street to wander down that you'd never been down before, with a little late night bar that you'd never found before. Oh, can you write that down? That was quite a good lyric. We're recording, aren't we? Okay, great. Street that I've never gone down before, a bar I've never found before. So, yeah, that's basically what all my songs are about anyway. But yeah, so, but I was a little bit disappointed when I arrived in London because I couldn't find the place that doesn't sleep. You know, like you'd be in a part of town, you'd be like, everything's closed. I can't even get a beer past half 11. What's going on? So it takes a little while to find those little hidden places in London. And eventually I did, and where we are now is one of those. This little basement. So many gigs have happened in here. But also the one that I ended up going to the most was called the Jamboree. That was in Limehouse for 10 years. Do you know the Jamboree? I thought I recognised you guys. And the Jamboree's now got a new venue, which is not far from here, in King's Cross. But when the first Jamboree venue, maybe some of you out there in the virtual world have been to the Jamboree in Limehouse in London. And when you do visit London, or maybe you're all in London, I don't know where you are, you will have to find the Jamboree because it never fails to deliver magic. But when the first venue was closing, we had about a month before the doors were going to close, and then everybody was out there every night for the last month. And this song's kind of about that, but it's kind of about all sorts of things that happened at the Jamboree. And some people ask me how do you write your lyrics? And I always say, well, I write things down in order in which they happened, and then I hope that they rhyme. And this is such an example. It's called Lovers Old and Lovers New. You can think about the Jamboree now then. Tap left on and overflowing. They knocked on the door, but we kept going. You asked me for the here and now. I recited wedding vows. You disappeared with another. Just your dealer, not your lover. Time the healer brought you round. In my arms, safe and sound. Love first old and love first new. Dancing the whole night and through. They all knew the ship would sink, but no one likes to think about it. I danced with a stranger across the very same spot on the floor where we'd had our first ever kiss. All those years before, you sang, I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places. Now the walls are painted white around all these brand new faces. Love first old and love first new. not a whiskey stain in sight. And like all lost places in this town, nobody cares what once went down there. But if life is just a book we write, just a story that we'd like to be in, you can paint the walls and the ceilings. We'll keep the memories and the feelings. Lovers old and lovers new, dancing the whole night and through. They all knew the ship would sink, but no one likes to think about it. Lovers old and lovers new, dancing the whole night and through. We all knew the ship would sink, but we can always think about it. Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, that song was on this my brand new album. Oops, it's slipping out. Somewhere around the bend. So the competition is first person to send me an Instagram message that says King's Cross Basement. I'll post this to you, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what Brexit duties are on that postage. Okay? I promise. So what now? Oh yes. So I'm going to do a song now which is from a previous album. The album's called The Road Not Taken. Inspired by the American poet Robert Frost. Did you know that already? Did you? I'm imagining this virtual festival is going to be happening in America just because I did a virtual festival and the audience was in America. I don't know why I've got that in my head. Who knows where you're going to be? This is called The Man I've Become. What did I dream of? Who would I be? The man that I aim for, the man that you see. I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I'm from. I'm getting to know the man that I've become. They say that each action, the everyday, will either make you or take something away. So the further you go, the longer the return. I'm getting to know the Life is a string of things you've won and things you've lost. All that you've gained against all the cause. The work of my father, the gift of the sun. I'm getting to know the man that I've become. I'm getting to know the man that I've become. I'm getting to know the man that I have become. I'd like to introduce back to the stage Loudon Wainwright. Oh yeah. So this guitar is more expensive than that one, considerably, and so I'm going to sing this next song on this guitar. Here's the reason why. I wrote this after I played a gig in Paris, and having not played in Paris many times, I was anxious about how many people might turn up to my little gig. It was in a tiny little theatre, not much bigger than this place, and it was called Au Petit Théâtre de Bonheur, which is the small theatre of happiness. And very interesting story about the place is a gentleman, well, you know, in Montmartre in Paris there's those staircases where all the tourists go. Well, there was this local guy from Montmartre who got drunk and he fell asleep on one of the staircases, and while he was sleeping he had a dream that he opened up a theatre on one of the staircases. And this dream and this image of this place was so powerful that he hunted for years for a vacancy of a house or a shop or something. And eventually he found one, and he opened up the small theatre of happiness. And it lasted there for a few years. Anyway, so I was outside the front of this place, and I was trying to meet some tourists and tell them about my gig that evening. And I met a gentleman from Nashville, Tennessee, and we got chatting about music. We had a lot of similar taste in music. Just when I thought I'd reeled him in, he said he couldn't come to my gig because him and his wife were planning to go and eat in a restaurant where a famous writer used to eat 100 years ago. He couldn't remember the name of the writer, but it was very important that's what they were going to do. And I said, fair enough. But he said, if you ever come to Nashville, bring some spare money, because we've got the best guitars in the world in Nashville. The shops are full of them, and what's better is that they're all half price anywhere you can get them in the world. There's just so many of them. There's no room for them in the shops, so they'll sell you to the... So I said, oh, that's very good, I'll try to remember that. And I said, can you tell me why the guitars are so cheap in Nashville? He said, well, all these dumb kids, they come from their small, little, insignificant hometown, and they come to Nashville to make it to be a star, and they're simply not good enough. And when they realize they're not good enough, they have to sell their guitar so they can get the train home to their little town again. And I thought, I don't want to come and get a half-price guitar if that's the reason it's half-price. And I'll proudly say that I did a lot of gigs in the last few months after time off for the obvious reasons. And from playing gigs, I bought this really expensive guitar. Yeah. So this song is kind of related to that experience. I wrote it just after, and it's called The Boy Done Good. Can you relate to that? I'll ask you why after. I don't want to set the world on fire. I don't want to climb any higher. I just want to get a little word in the newspaper I used to deliver. Something like, local boy done good. I don't want to compete down there. So much noise in the air. But even when you can win one's ear, there's such a din that they'll never really hear you. But I still want to do good. I just want to be a hero in my hometown. Get a little hello when I come back around. I just want to be understood. For my old next door neighbor to say, your boy's done good. I don't want to be a millionaire. Don't want my name lit up in Times Square. I don't want to be big in Japan. People coming to my grave like Elvis in Graceland. But I still want to do good. I just want to play your living room, sitting round a campfire singing my tunes, singing my songs in the Harrison basement or in the little bar where the locals meet. And it's gonna be sweet. I just want to be a hero in my hometown. I don't want to let my parents down. The only thing I wanted since my childhood was for my mom and my dad to say, our boy's done good. Whistle with me. Can anybody do a double whistle so we can pretend there's a million people here? You don't have to whistle in tune. This is not a talent contest like the rest of life is. Just let yourself go. Okay, stop now. That was horrible. Then one day when I'm dead and gone, I don't want to be talked about for all that long. Maybe a couple of words spoken by the grave, something like, he was honest. He was brave. He worked hard. And the boy done good. I just want to be a hero in my hometown. I won't need much when I'm dead in the ground. Maybe a couple of friends gathered around, and maybe a little sign that's made of wood that says, has anybody been listening to the song? Okay, there we go. There's a good idea. The boy done good. Yeah. Put you to the test there, you see. Did you get that at home or wherever you are? Are you all meeting up in some sort of virtual space together. No, that doesn't work. Mysterious. Okay. Well, do you know how much time we have? 10 minutes. Okay. Got to choose wisely then. Okay. So, I'm going to sing you 2 more songs. And this is a sing-along. Yeah. So try your polyphonic singing. Do you know what polyphonic singing is? Huh?
It's Greek for 2.
Greek for 2. Polyphonic. Is it? Poly. Okay, so polyphonic is many noises. So can you sing and make it sound like 2 people singing? There is people that can do it. Layla Hathaway is known for her polyphonic singing, where she can sing 2 notes at the same time in harmony. You got to eat a lot of beans first. Triphonic singing. Anyway, we don't need to worry about polyphonic singing tonight, but I'd love you to sing along with this one. It's a song I wrote for my grandfather. He lived to be 100 years old. So, exactly. Wow. And, so, you know, going to my grandfather's funeral, I was worried that everybody would be sad, and I thought, you can't be sad if someone's lived 100 years old. I mean, you can, obviously, but we've got to remember to celebrate. So I wrote this as a celebration of his life. He lived a good, long, healthy life, and he definitely convinced everybody, at least, that he was a very happy man. He was always very jolly, and he worked hard. He was a farmer. He did good, yeah. He was the original Boy Done Good. And so he grew up on a very small Orkney island called Rousey, and he saved up some money from working on people's farms up in Rousey, and then he heard that there was some cheap farmland going in Aberdeenshire, so he went down and he managed to get himself his own farm, and there he'd already met my grandmother, and he had 6 kids there, and then they all had kids, and so I grew up in a family of about 30-40 people, you know, family events and stuff, and there was second cousins who were like first cousins, and then third cousins that were like second, and so on. First cousins once removed, third cousins 4 times removed. Still, my mother is like, "Oh, Adam, I've just found out your 4th cousin lives in London. I've arranged for you to meet up with them." And I'm like, "Mother, I don't even have time to see my good friends in London. I'm sure my 4th cousin from the Orkney Isles is very lovely, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to cancel." So anyway, big family, and so this is a song for him. My grandfather, George Craigie, was born in 1910 and died in 2010, so he lived through a lot. And if you repeat after me, I'll teach you the words. Hold me high, and send me low, for it is time for me to go. And in my eyes, you'll see no tears, for I have lived 100 years. So I'll sing the first chorus, and I'm sure you'll have it certainly by the end of the song. It's called A Song of 100 Years. Hold me high and send me low, for it is time for me to go. And in my eyes you'll see no tears, for I have lived 100 years. Before you throw the ropes below and fan the soil from head to toe, I'll turn my tongue, be a balladeer, and sing a song of 100 years. I was born when horses pulled the plow, and marriage held by but a vow. A beggar's hand assumed sincere. Much has changed these 100 years. An early age behind the mule, an equal grip on books and school, a mighty fleet I'd commandeer to sail me through 100 years. So hold me high and send me low, for it is time for me to go. And in my eyes you'll see no tears, for I have lived 100 years. I took my boat on the stormy sea. Never I dreamt of one like thee. On a nearby shore you did appear to take my hand for 100 years. A daughter's care, a quarter share, the loyal son I had a pair. My every word they would revere and make me proud for 100 years. So hold me high and send me low, for it is time for me to go. And in my eyes you'll see no tears, for I have lived 100 years. Come on, cameraman. And brides and grooms and baby booms, a sea of smiles splashed through the room. And through the years, be it smile or tears, I'd hold dear all 100 years. I'll hold you all deep in my heart, fondly filling every part. And as I watch you disappear, I'll recall all 100 years. So hold me high and send me low, for it is time for me to go. And in my eyes you'll see no tears, for I have lived 100 years. Now just you. As I watch you disappear, sing the song of 100 years. Thank you so much. Yes, just to remind you of the competition, just in case you've just entered this virtual space on the virtual map in the virtual festival. If you've enjoyed the songs, my name is Adam Beattie, and this is my latest album. It's called Somewhere Around the Bend, and this unwrapped copy is an offer to whoever sends me a message on Instagram to @Mr. Adam Beattie on Instagram and writes the words King's Cross Basement in the message. I will post this to you, Somewhere Around the Bend. And oh look, there's a big guitar, or is it a big violin? You say that's not funny, right? But I carry around this instrument many days, and I have to listen to other people saying that every day. Okay? So now I'm getting revenge. I'm going to play this one for the last song. And we're going to gracefully change position. Welcome back. Oh, look at this. It's a big violin. Okay. This is the last song. Thank you very much for listening, everybody out there. My name's Adam Beattie. This song's called Blood in My Eyes. I woke up smiling with the sun so high. I was laughing in the face of the people passing by. And as the day wore out and the sky grew gray, my heart grew blue. Seeing you was so far away. Oh, baby, I've got blood in my eyes for you. Oh, darling, there's a space in my heart. Well, you filled my head with what the future may hold. Before I knew it, I was out in the cold, and I didn't even get to the end of the street. I was back in your arms. I was feeling your heat. I've got blood in my eyes for you. Oh, darling, there's a space in my heart. I woke with a sweat. I could feel it in my bones, the conception of the song. But then the blood run hot, the lust turned to woe. My body felt abandoned from my head down to my toes, to my toes. I wrote you a letter, sent it first class. You'll maybe read it at the bottom of your class. Forgot to ask you for the sunglasses. Just for the last chorus. Here we go. I wrote you a letter, I sent it first class. You'll maybe read it at the bottom of your class. And as you raised your head with your glazed red eyes, I'll be gone like a bird into the skies. Oh, baby, I've got blood in my eyes for you. Oh, darling, there's a space in my heart. Oh, baby, I've got blood in my eyes for you. Oh, darling, there's a space in my heart. There's a space in my heart. Thank you to our wonderful physical audience. Thank you to our wonderful camera hashtag people. Thank you to our other crew on sound and supervision. And yeah, thanks to the Harrison for making this amazing space for us to perform in, and thank you to everybody in the virtual festival space. My name's Adam Beattie. This is my album. If you want to find it online, this is my 5th album. It's the only one that's on vinyl, though. There we go. And yes, it's been a pleasure to play for you, and hope to bump into you in the real world.